Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Paranormal Coffee Talk. I'm Crystal.
I'm Carol.
And we are super excited. We know that it is not our, normal scheduled program. We added a couple this week that we've been trying to get on our calendar for a while. And it just so happened that it all worked out. So tonight we have someone that we truly, truly admire. She inspires all of us, all of the women of the paranormal. So we are super excited. We are not going to delay. We're jumping right into tonight's show. We have Alex. Yay!
Hi. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I'm less than 30 days from my event, so the sleep is starting to be a little affected a bit, and the stress is starting to creep in. But overall, I'm good.
It has, honestly, the last couple months have gone by so fast, and it seems like the summer is just like, okay, we're over with. So,
Yep.
You have a lot going on this year. You have been nonstop from, I feel like, since probably the beginning of the year. It has been nonstop for you.
There's a lot of truth to that statement. It's very true.
Like, we're just gonna steal her and bring her south so that she can just take a vacation and, I would love that. We'll take you to the beach and get you some good old Southern foods down here in Alabama and Louisiana.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah.
So we wanted to have you on the show tonight to chat about your upcoming event. So, I don't have my drum. It's somewhere. My drum is somewhere. I think I dropped it back behind the desk. So you have an upcoming event, Paranormal Research Symposium, and that's going to be in Gettysburg in September, right?
August.
Yeah. August. Yep. Let me pull this up so I make sure I have everything going on here. We have, I'm going to go back to the beginning because that has some really good. There we are. August 17th, Gettysburg, Paranormal Research Symposium. So tell us, where this idea came from, because I feel like you have so many amazing ideas and they just are miraculous and just pop out of thin air. I'm like, I need to have her on our team so that we can just have her brains and pick them for a little.
We need your brains, Alex.
So that's a great question. I can't take credit for this really. So not that I've hit a rut in my paranormal research or my paranormal investigation journey, but I kind of felt stagnant in the last couple of years. Maybe a year and a half, I felt kind of stagnant. And I was really trying to figure out, what could I do to light a fire in me again? And then I was in London for work a couple months ago.
I remember that.
And I was like, I'm here. I had emailed the secretary at the Society for Psychical Research, SPR, and I said, hey, I'm going to be in London over the weekend for work. Is it possible I can stop by? I'm happy to pay a fee. I just want to pop in, look at the library, to see the space. And they replied and said, actually, we're having an event on this day, so you should totally just stop by. We'll be here. And I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't realize what the event was, but I stopped by. My friend, Dr. Callum Cooper, was there, and he made me feel really welcome. And they were in the middle of doing basically a day of like research presenting based on like the research subject was kids and sci. And Cal was like, Dr. Cooper was like, you should stay for, for some panels or stay for all of it. And I'm like, sure. I'm like, okay, I didn't pay for it, but it's like,
don't threaten me with a good time.
Don't threaten me with a good time. Exactly. It was like, have some snacks, have some tea and biscuits, and and I'm like,
crumpets.
Crumpets, yeah, not crumpets, but biscuits, cookies. But I was like, okay, and I was sitting and I was watching these presentations, and I'm like, I wish we had something like this in the States where it's very research focused. You basically just get together, you get in the room, you present your research, and then you have a discussion about it. And I'm like, this is really awesome. And it's a bit different from the nothing wrong with the paranormal convention circuit as it is right now, but it's like you have your celebrities, you have presentations, you also have vendor rooms. Like there's a lot going on. It's very chaotic in a good way. There's a lot happening. But I was like, I would really love to see something where it's just the research, So I put just a little Facebook post out there, and I said, would anyone be interested if I just rented a conference room for the day, order some food, we just hang out and present our research, and we talk about it? And the response was overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably saw the Facebook post. Like, it was just tons of comments. And then Ghosts and Images in Gettysburg reached out to me and said, we would love to offer you our space for free if you want to do this.
Wow.
And then Ghost City Tours reached out and said, again, we would love to offer you our space for free if you want to do this.
That's awesome.
So I reached out to the Hotel Gettysburg too, and I pitched them the idea, and they said, yeah, we would love to help out with this. So they gave me a pretty good rate because it's right after the anniversary weekend. So it was, it worked out. Yeah, and it has turned into a little bit more of a financial investment than I expected, but lesson learned. But so now the symposium has turned into like this full day of panels, presentations, and workshops across 3 different buildings in Gettysburg.
That'd be fun.
And we're starting at like 8:30 in the morning. I'm like, I hope you all brought your coffee.
This is it's turning into an event that usually takes an entire year to put together, and you've done it in you guys have done this in such a short amount of time, and it's going to be phenomenal. I mean, just going over the list that there you've got sponsors. We have, let's close that.
I'm trying to turn off the Google ads. I'm trying to turn off AdSense.
We have, so you've been doing the podcast, and you've had, I think you're on coming up on episode 9, I think, of the podcast. And your speaker list is really phenomenal. Just the amount of knowledge that's on this list it's like, I so wish we could have been there. I was like, I want to be there, but our schedule just has prevented us from getting back north in the last couple years.
North is hard for us.
Yeah.
We're so far south.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really impressed with who was interested, because I was like, we may end up just using one room because I don't know who all is going to be interested in this. And we actually had to turn people down because we just didn't have enough space. And we're still getting people messaging us saying, hey, we'd love to present, or we'd love to do something virtual. And I was like, I wish we could. But that's something to be said. We may do a virtual option down the line. But I was just really impressed with who wanted to be a part of this. Like Joshua Cutchin, he and Timothy Brenner are a pretty big deal. They're a pretty big deal in the cryptozoology research world. I mean, John Sable, Mary Becker, Kristen Lee, Amelia Cotter, the Three Appalachian Witches. They're legit. And I'm like, y'all want to be part of my little thing? Okay.
But that's just to be able, to see how many people have looked for and are wanting something, the research side of it.
Yes.
Because we go to so many, Alex knows, like we do, she spends a lot of time at different conventions. She's been doing this for a very long time, and it's different when we go in to these conventions and there's a lot of people that are there that are celebrity guests, like huge celebrity guests that have been on multiple TV shows, and they that's great and all, but when it gets down to the workshops and the panels, being able to have something research based or something that a workshop or a panel with not just the large TV show people on there, but also people who have done this, who have researched, who have studied the paranormal and the scientific based evidence that we are looking for, that a lot of us are looking for.
You'll walk out with knowledge for sure.
And walk out with knowledge, not just an autograph.
Yeah, and that's something huge that you're pointing out too, because when I was looking at these, because we did a very unconventional way of selecting our guests. Typically, to be a guest at an event, like you're either just invited by the event planner, which is fine, or you've had credentials of like you've been on a couple TV shows or you were on a TV show. That's totally fine too. But in this case, we made everybody submit an abstract. And an abstract is a short paper, 500 words, basically talking about what you want to present. But you also have to have sources. And we actually had a whole rubric. So my team, we acted as a committee and we read all the abstracts. We all read every abstract. We graded them based on the rubric. And we shared the rubric with the speakers too, because we wanted everybody to be as successful as possible. It's like, here's the rubric. This is what we're grading on. And then we just looked at it from a point system aspect. And we made decisions from there. So
that is absolutely phenomenal. I honestly have not, I think out of all my years, that's probably a first, that you guys went to such detail to make sure that you didn't have multiples of the same thing being spoken about, because that can be difficult when you're doing conventions, is, you're not having the same workshop, the same panels. And, after like the first 6 or 7 hours, when you have the same thing being talked about, people are like, all right, time to go home.
Yep.
But you guys put a lot of work and a lot of research and data into this. It's like your own little algorithm.
Yeah, really. And we all have very diverse backgrounds on my team. I have actually a lot of people who are teachers, and I'm a former teacher. But I'm very data driven, and if you ever work with me, I'm extremely data driven. Like I got to see the data, and so we went through the abstracts, and we did have a couple of TV people reach out saying that they were interested too. But I said the same thing. I'm like, you got to submit an abstract, because we wanted it to be fair. And as I was reading these abstracts, I was just thinking, like, we've missed out on some really brilliant people in this field.
Yes.
Because they may not have the following, or they haven't had the opportunities yet to be, have more of a public presence. But yeah, you can see the topics right there. Like some of these are so good. Like Joshua and Timothy's, like I read their, if you scroll down, I think to the bottom, you'll see what their topic is. I about fell out of my chair.
Oh, like, wow.
I felt like I fell out of my
the beast towards an
archetypal.
It's like very little on my screen. I'm like, I have like this big, massive screen. I'm like, Beauty and the Beast. understanding of Bigfoot and women in white.
I'm
That's
gonna miss that. Okay, Alex, I need you when that happens. I need you to be in there live the whole time, okay? Please.
I know, right?
She's
Right.
all about Bigfoot. She loves Bigfoot.
And when I read the abstract, like it was a great abstract. I mean, and Mike Magners too, like could residual paranormal activity be explained by time anomalies? I'm like, these topics are so good. It's so like everyone is so smart like in this, and it's just such an honor that you know this group they want to be a part of this event. So it's going to be an amazing day. I have a feeling people are going to have trouble what they want to go because we have 3 different venues doing stuff at the same time. So I have a feeling people, if anyone has a complaint, it's going to be you had stuff like happening at the same time, and I was having a hard time choosing. So, but yeah, I mean, Lisa Crick is going to be doing 2 workshops. One of them is on Black Mirror scrying.
And that one is $10 extra just to help cover the cost. So, I mean, that alone, $10 for a workshop. I mean,
and you get a mirror. You get to go home with a mirror.
Something.
Yeah.
So that is a phenomenal price for a hands-on, do-it-yourself, walk away with an item from this event. So you guys make sure that when you grab your tickets, it does give you the option to purchase that add-on.
Yep.
For $10. So make sure you guys do that.
I'm gonna miss that.
I know. I was like, when she sent the invite for tickets and stuff to the event, I was like, oh no. I would come back north from my short hiatus of being in the north.
Yes.
When I left in 2022, I said, I'm going to take a break. I am going to take a break from the north. I've lived in DC for 7 years. I'm just going to take a break. And then you sent this. I was like, okay, break's over. Break's over. My goodness. I mean, so you have, let's see. I'm trying to go through some of these panels, and I mean, and it's just a little bit of everything, but it's so well thought out. Like you have mythology, neo-pagan theologies, like that's my area. I love that. I know Carol's over here like Bigfoot. But you guys
had me at Bigfoot.
Just all flows together, and that's what's so neat. When I was reading through the website, the panels and the workshops and your guest speakers, just being able to see how things have come together. You have so many different varieties, but you were able to put these together with this, this format. You guys created a new format to create something that is just put together I mean, it's just spectacular. I'm in awe. I mean, I am usually in awe by your work because I love watching you work and all your events and things that you do and your topics that you speak on. But this is phenomenal. You guys have done amazing work on this. I really, really wish we could be there.
I mean, I couldn't have done it without my team. My assistant director, Ted, he's kind of been my sounding board, and also like he's done really great work with helping me organize everything. And we have a research fellow. Her name is Mary. She actually goes by Thorn Mooney. So she actually is an author, but she's a really great writer. She helped write a lot of the copy for our social media, our press releases. She helped edit everybody's bio so that it's all like fairly similar voice and similar length. That was not an easy task because some people are very wordy and some people are very succinct. So it's, dealing with working with different styles. And then Whitney, Cindy, Christy, Emily, Heather, like the rest of my team, they've been really phenomenal with like, hey, what do you need help with? What can I take off your plate? I am terrible at delegating. So having team members reach out and be like, okay, what can I do? So
Yeah. And I
yeah.
think, like with Carol and I, it's always just the two of us. So everything that we do is just like, all right, you do this and I do that.
I'm
And you do
screaming
this
every
and I do
day. We need a team.
I know. And so it's just, the two of us, we are just so used to splitting everything right down the middle. So when I'm sitting here, I don't know how we would be able to, we would have to bring in a lot of volunteers and a lot of other teams to be able to do an event this big, but it sounds absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. So we are still, so speaking of volunteers, we are looking for volunteers. I think we have 11 so far. We would like to get a few more to help make the event happen. And if you would like to volunteer, to anyone out there, you'll get free entry into the symposium. You will also be invited to the Friday night networking dinner that'll be happening as a thing, because we can't compensate our speakers, unfortunately. Maybe next year if we have a lot of money and seed money to do that. That's the ultimate goal, is eventually be able to pay our speakers. But we are offering dinner. We are going to feed them dinner on Friday night, and give everyone a
And
chance.
it's in Gettysburg. So, I mean,
Yeah,
that is like the place. I mean, anybody who's lived up in that area or has visited that area a lot just knows that Gettysburg is it's like our home away from home up there. We spend a lot of time in Gettysburg, and most of us, we've spoken online and we've, spoke during seeing each other, different events, things like that. But knowing that we were probably all out on that battlefield together at some point and we just didn't know it. It's just a gathering place. And we all love going to Gettysburg. So to be able for you guys to be able to have the symposium there, that's a gift in itself, because that's just a great place.
It's a great location. It is a bit saturated though with events, so we are actually looking into the DC area possibly for next year if we do this again. Because one, it's local to me, so
Exactly. I know my
local.
way around the 495, 395, and all the 95s.
All the 95s.
And
Yeah.
85s.
So I'm actually looking at Old Town Alexandria, which is very haunted.
Keep talking.
It's very haunted. So I'm looking at a couple of spaces in Old Town Alexandria potentially. I do love Gettysburg though. I mean, it's a great location. But there is a lot of events that are already happening up there, and it's easier to kind of, and I've learned it's easier to be on site too if possible. It's like to be able to like, oh, okay, I need to go check this space or check this room, as opposed to, okay, I got to drive. Ideally, it's a 90-minute drive, but traffic. especially
traffic.
Especially 270, when you get into Maryland and 270 to the 15, it's like
Yes, that's what people don't quite understand. Anyone who hasn't lived in the area, like my family, are like, what do you mean it's 26 miles and it took you 2.5 hours? I was like, don't go anywhere during rush hour. Everything that can be delivered to my house was delivered. I didn't leave unless I desperately had to.
Right. It's like you have to account for traffic, and you have to account, and if you want to take the toll roads, it's like be prepared to pay like $30.
Oh yeah. And then they're going to send you a bill if you don't have your little toll pass either and you forget to take cash. They are going to send that bill, and they're going to tax on a lot of money to it.
Yep. I got my Easy Pass.
I'll be right back. Sorry.
Because it's very difficult to get on a road and you're like, oh no, I'm on the wrong one and now I have no choice but to go down here, and they're going to tag me. But I think most of the tolls though now have the camera capture. You don't even stop, because I know the bridge going over from Maryland, Southern Maryland over into Virginia is now camera captured. It captures your tail, and then it just sends you a lump sum every year of what you owe.
Yep.
Sorry, I had to go yell at my husband.
I do miss a lot of the areas, and Old Town Alexandria. That's actually one of, when I first moved to Andrews Air Force Base, that was one of the first locations that I went to go on a guided ghost tour. Nice. I love it. And their escape room, they got so much there. I miss Nando's. That was like my place to eat. I loved going to Nando's. I
Nando's
do.
is
I
delicious.
missed a lot of what there was, but I do not miss the traffic and the sirens, and I don't. It took me a while, but now after 2 years of being back in the South, I have still only heard a ambulance siren maybe once in 2 years. while
Unless
sleeping.
you're in Louisiana.
Unless I'm at Carol's house. So it it's a lot slower down here.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I moved up here from North Carolina, so I grew up in San Diego, so the culture shock wasn't really so strong for me.
Yeah.
This is my cat. She likes to walk across the keyboard when I'm doing this stuff. So the culture shock wasn't quite as bad for me, but my husband was like, "Whoa," because he born and raised North Carolinian, so it was quite different for him.
Yeah. See, I mean, we're small town Alabama, like grew up with maybe 2,000 people, and then, went on my follow my husband career path. And so we lived in New Mexico and all of these big cities. So for us, it was just the closer we got to retirement, the more I wanted to go home.
Mhm.
So I was like, take me back home, take me back to Sweet Home Alabama, and I'll never leave again.
Nice.
So yeah, it's been great. So
That's awesome.
what else do you have coming up in the following your symposium in a few weeks now? It's 17th of August. You have the
Yeah.
symposium. What else you got going on?
I will be at Dragon Con at the end of August, so I'll be down Atlanta. I'm an attending professional for the paranormal track and also the alt history track. So I'm going to be doing some paranormal panels, also some Bridgerton panels. And I think I'm doing an Outlander panel too. So I'm like, yes.
What date are we doing it this year? What day are you going to be there this year?
I believe it's August 20. Let me look up I want to say it's August. I'm going to be flying in either Wednesday or Thursday, August 28th or 29th. And then I'll be leaving on Monday, September 2nd. So
I'm just writing that down. I'm only like 2.5, 3 hours, 3.5 hours from
Okay.
it. So yeah, that's not bad at all for me.
Yeah.
I know
I thought
last year I was like, if I'd have known, I would come and sat with you and rolled in our little chairs and all that fun
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Yeah, and then after Dragon Con, my book on haunted Northern Virginia will be coming out through History Press. So there was a lot of books on hauntings in DC. There was a lot of books on hauntings in Alexandria. Not a lot with Northern Virginia, like just as a whole. And when I was researching just hauntings near me, I mean, I was getting into the triple digits with how many haunted spots there are in Northern Virginia. So I'm like, well, this might be an interesting book. And I talked to Sam Baltrusis, who publishes with History Press quite often. And I was initially thinking of this as a self-published project, but he was like, Alex, you want the distribution, you should go through like History Press. So I was like, okay, all right. So so Haunted Northern Virginia is coming out from History Press. I believe the release date is September 4th.
Another book we get to add. I'm like,
I hope it's very different from what I usually write, because usually I write like either about the investigation process, like, hey, here's a haunted hospital, and let's see, here's the investigations I did, here's the interviews I did, here's the historical research, or it's my personal experiences, or just stories of like, spooky women in the field and that sort of thing. This is the first time I've written like more anecdotal stories, like just ghost stories in general, and it's been interesting.
Yeah, and I think that's for like myself, who I have your books, I've read them, I enjoy them. I'm excited and curious to see the switch. You know what I mean? To see the change and where this is going. So I will be adding that to my bookshelf, and anybody out there that would like to get any of her books, why don't you tell them where they can grab those at, Miss Alex?
Yeah, so all of my books are available on Amazon. So you can go to Amazon, type in my name, my author page or persona should pop up. If you would like to get a signed copy of one of my books, then you can go to my Etsy shop, which is thespookystuff.etsy.com. It will cost a little more because shipping.
And
Yeah, so that's a thing. But if you want a signed copy, I'm more than happy to do so on Etsy. But if you just want to get the book as fast as you can at the lowest price, then yeah, go to Amazon. But
we
yeah,
went ahead and got it signed. So like, in 5 years, we're like, guess what we got? And we've had it for 5 years. So,
yeah,
we're
it's
just keep
amazing.
tacking on and be like, I wonder how much is this worth now?
You never know.
And so it's, it is though, just to be able to, I'm curious and yet excited to see this, this new release. So, and I love as the historian and, I'm curious and excited because I love all things history, and to know that I investigated most of those areas in, the Northern Neck and, Virginia, Maryland, Southern Maryland, all of these areas for 7 years. So really excited to see how you put all of this information into this book. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
It'll definitely be interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah. And that's it, for anyone out there listening who has not purchased her books and you really want to do that, we really, really enjoy reading the books. I have them. I love filling my bookshelf full of books, but last year, Alex, you were on, I think, Shaman Sunday with Brandon. And I was like, I'm getting this book. So I like jumped on Etsy and instantly bought the book, and I got it super quick, guys. So again, it's not like you're waiting weeks. Like, I think it was like 5-6 days, and you were getting ready to leave to go to a convention. And I still got it in Alabama. It's super quick. But then you read the history and the thought process that's put into your books, and how much of yourself and your energy goes into your projects. And I just I'm a fan. I'm an Alex fan.
Thank you. Gosh, man, you're amping up my not ego, but my self-confidence right now. It's like,
and I do,
good.
and we've chit-chatted over the past year, and things that we've both had an experience through different things in the paranormal community, and you still come out on top, and you still come out with grace and dignity, and you're like, just keep on keeping on, and you keep rolling with it. So
yep. It's definitely, there's a lot of drama out there right now. And
I know.
I got inadvertently, I guess, because my mouth got me looped into, but it's one of those things. I mean, it happens. But the other thing is if I ever see something out there that could make somebody feel unsafe or become unsafe, like especially at an event, I'm gonna say something. Like, I'm gonna say something. I like to diplomatically make people uncomfortable if possible when, like,
and
when
that
something's
and but
problematic.
you do it, you're very tactful about it. You don't go out and just start blasting people. So but you do it to help all of us. And Carol and I, it's just the two of us at a lot of locations. So it saves us from possibly having to call people to bail us out of jail or something. So there's that. Yeah, it has been it's been great though, and super excited to hear more about, and to be able to see, are there going to be any live coverage? Are you going live at the symposium? So
I may talk to my team about it to see if maybe there might be, see if we're open, like anyone's open to that, or letting us use their phone for the live stream.
Yeah. Or see if people can donate or something to be able to watch the live stream, because I'm curious, Like, I'm really
Mhm.
excited and I want to be able to be there, but we're down here in Alabama, so
Or at
Right.
least the
Yeah.
Bigfoot part. You can do that. We're cool with that. As long as you do that, we're good. 5 minutes.
Yeah,
5 minutes.
yeah. So I did reach out to a potential vendor of hey, it's like, hey, could you handle the live stream? And it was a little more expensive than I expected.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Ugh." But yeah, I'm trying to see if there could be like a happy medium around that where maybe, yeah, it's like somebody does like people can donate and maybe they can choose like a Zoom room to join and where they can watch this. Logistics, I'm trying to work that out. I would love to be able to offer a live stream option, even if we were able to sell like virtual tickets for like
that's what I was
half the
thinking.
price. Yeah, that's something to explore.
I'd buy it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people here who are in the comments would do that. We'd be
Mhm.
like,
Oh,
we
yeah.
can't be there, but where's the virtual? We're all in on that. So,
Mhm.
oh,
Nice.
hello, Roger. Yeah,
Memphis.
there's been a lot of people. We've got Amanda here from Japan.
Oh,
Uh,
hey, Amanda.
yes. And then Crystal, she is with Louisiana Spirits down in Louisiana. And she has started researching with them. She has learned a lot over the past few months. And so, yeah, again, there's so many people that are joining teams now and being able to learn from, events like this. I think
Mhm.
that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot of awesome people on here tonight, but I don't want to keep you too terribly long because we already know you've
We
already
just
been
left
on.
off the podcast.
Yes.
Like what, 5 minutes ago?
What is there anything else that you want me to put up here and let people see? Let's see,
Um,
tickets.
Yeah, I mean, volunteers, if you're interested in volunteering, come, go to the website that's listed on the bottom. We could use a couple of extra hands if possible. And like I said, you'll get free admission into the symposium and we'll feed you dinner on Friday night. Um, and yeah, so you will have to fill out a form. It's just with your information and also just to confirm that you're not on any registry or offender list. Because I practice what I preach. We background check everybody. So,
Exactly.
it's got to do it. Unfortunately we live in a world we have to do it.
Exactly. And keeping everyone safe. And that's key into so many of our events. And we talk about this so often about the things that we experience and the people aren't being vetted, and it's a big deal, and it needs to be happening more and more. More
Mhm.
people need to do this. We're
Yeah.
working on an event next year, and that's key to us. We want to know who you are, who your mom and them, like everything. We need to know it
Yep.
all.
Yep.
So
Agreed.
it's a big deal. But
And
yeah,
you would be
you guys,
surprised who doesn't do background checks. Like when
a
I
lot of
was
them don't.
a lot of the especially some of the really big paranormal events don't. It's like
Mhm.
they don't background check their guests or their volunteers, and then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, this is the registry, and it's like, oh, we didn't know. And I mean, you only know as much as you know. I mean, people can lie too, but it's just very unfortunate that that's the world we live in right now. So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
that's if you're going to be part of the event, we just need you to say, hey, I'm not on any registry or any list, and
We don't have a
um,
creeper section.
Yeah.
exactly. So, but yeah, we could use a few extra hands if anyone is free, on August 17th. We can fill out the form on the page. And then, yeah, tickets are on sale through August 16th for $50.
Mhm.
We will have door prices as well that will be 60. If you decide to walk in day of, we are recommending that people buy tickets ahead of time though, just so that we can, because we actually are going to have folders for our attendees that's going to have schedule a food guide. There's a lot of great food options in Gettysburg. We actually do have a scheduled lunch break during the symposium as well. So, you know, you have a chance to converse and talk and eat with people. We are not doing vendor tables because we want people to go to these presentations. Vending is amazing. I love it. In this situation, we do want people to go to the presentations. The speakers will have a chance to hang out in the atrium area of the Hotel Gettysburg if they want to talk to guests and sell books. We're gonna do this Dragon Con style. You bring your stuff in a suitcase, and we'll have like little pop-up tables. But besides that, we're not doing vendors.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's, and it all comes down to the research and the way this was put together and the amount of time it was put together and thought out to be able to have something that has a little bit of everything, panels for everyone, workshops, and there's so much you're going to be doing at the schedule, which is also here on the website. They're going to be working on that, but to be able to see, once you see the schedule, you'll see that, the vendor floors, there's not going to be much time. It's going to be a packed time, a packed day.
Yeah.
So you're not going to really have time to be able to, you can, after it's over with, go and shop around at some of the cool little boutiques and stuff around Gettysburg, but and there is so much for anyone who hasn't been. There's so much to do in Gettysburg and so many different cool little shops and, galleries and things like that. So when you're done at the symposium, go wander and roam and see the sights.
Yep, go support the local businesses.
Listen to us shopaholics telling everybody, yeah, when it's over, go shopping. We're so bad.
I know. And this the event is being sponsored by Alex, Ghost City Tours, and Ghostly Images at Gettysburg, and Lauren Hunts.
Lauren Hunts, and also I do need to update that page. Thank you for the reminder of that. But also Gold Dust Publishing. They are a queer a small press publisher based out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Yeah, so and actually the person who runs Gold Dust is a former member of my team. So so he was really excited about the symposium and wanted to support it. Yeah, so they not only publish like queer mysteries, fiction, romance, paranormal, but they also they want to publish nonfiction too. And you don't have to be a member of the LGBT community to publish with them. They also publish allies as well. So
wonderful.
So Gold Dust is a wonderful inclusive space for any writers who want to publish. So, and I'm really grateful to Jason for wanting to sponsor the symposium. So, and then Lauren was like, when I was bouncing the event off of her from day one, she was like, hell yeah, you need to do this.
We love Lauren. And it's, and again, I know Lauren and we've talked about this before, but, we absolutely love Lauren because we also make equipment, and women of the paranormal, everyone out there listening, women of the paranormal need their space. They need to have an area that's for them. And as equipment builders, Lauren and we've even tossed the idea around about making our own group for those women, all of us out there who are making equipment and growing up in this community of fun engineering.
We actually shipped out our new REM pods today to Amazon, so they will be available on Amazon soon. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah. So nice. Lauren, we absolutely love her work, and it's so beautiful. We love it. She's got such amazing work. So when I saw her name pop up, I was like, "Oh, Lauren!"
Yeah, Lauren is amazing. I met her in person last year at the There Is Hope Paracon up in Salmac, New York. The people behind Wildwood Sanitarium hosted, and I was just really impressed with Lauren. And plus, Lauren is a girl's girl. Like, she will hype you up. She will make you feel like the most important person in the room, and she will empower you. Like,
Definitely.
she inspires me. I'm like, man, that's I aspire to be that. I do my best, but sometimes my face and my mouth gets me in trouble.
That happens to a lot of us.
Happens to
that
the best.
no filter situation happens, and I have to call Carol and just vent and say everything that I really want to post or say to somebody, so that I'm not actually putting it out there. I'm just telling Carol how I feel. She's like the one that captures she's the filter.
Now, I used to be the mouthy one, but age caught up with me.
Yep. That's amazing.
Yeah, we're growing old here.
Yeah. I grew up finally.
Everyone, we are, if you are not following this, there's an event. I believe I've shared it to my page. I will share it here on Ghost Hunting Housewives as well. Grab your tickets if you're in the area. Or if you're not in the area and you want to go up there, there's areas you can get a hotel, there's lodging there, there's so much. So go on up there and have a great weekend of learning and listening, and make sure you add that $10 scrying mirror workshop in there as well. And this event is fabulous. I really, really wish we could be there. But know that we will be there in spirit because it's going to be great, everyone. It really is. So thank you guys. And thank you, Alex, for coming on and talking to us about your symposium.
Yeah,
and
thanks for having me.
You guys really done such an amazing job. I'm just, again, blown away by the panels and the workshops. I cannot wait to chat afterwards and hear a little more. So everyone, thank you guys for coming out. Be sure to share the podcast and go over to the event and I will be posting it again. Make sure to grab your tickets and go to Gettysburg. Like, who doesn't want to go to Gettysburg? So, and there's no guarantee it's going to be there next year. So make sure you guys go and give it a follow. Thank you, Alex, so much. It has been a blast and a sure pleasure to have you on. We will have to do it again. And everyone have a great night.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.